The story begins in a dark, eerie forest in Ireland. A man named John is running through the woods, terrified and desperate to escape something. As he runs, he keeps passing strange signs that read "point of no return," each one with a different number. No matter where he goes, it's as if he's stuck in a loop, returning to the same spots over and over. Suddenly, something invisible grabs him and drags him away violently, leaving us with no idea what happened to him. We are then introduced to Mina, an artist who lives alone. She's haunted by guilt over her mother's death in a car accident 15 years ago. The accident happened because Mina was fooling around in the car and didn't listen when her mother told her to stop. Ever since, Mina has been filled with regret and hasn't been able to move past it. She works at a small pet store and spends most of her time alone. One day, her boss asks her to deliver a parakeet to a customer. Mina decides to name the bird Darwin, and the two of them set off on the delivery trip. Before leaving, Mina does something unusual. She puts on a wig and starts calling herself a fake name. She even tells Darwin that she likes pretending to be someone else. It's a small moment, but it shows how much she struggles with her identity and wants to escape her real life. As she drives through a remote area, her car suddenly breaks down on a lonely road near a forest. Mina gets out with Darwin to look for help, but when she returns to where her car was, it's gone. Completely confused, Mina has no choice but to wander into the forest. As she walks, she sees a woman running through the trees. Hoping the woman can help, Mina chases after her. The woman leads Mina to a small cabin in the middle of the woods. She warns Mina to get inside quickly before something bad happens. Mina rushes into the cabin and meets the woman, whose name is Madeline. There are two others inside, Sierra and Daniel. They explain to Mina that they are trapped in the forest because of mysterious creatures called the Watchers. The Watchers are strange beings that watch the group's every move from the shadows of the forest. They only come out at night, but even during the day, their presence can be felt. The cabin, which they call the coop, is the only safe place. The group has strict rules for surviving. They can go outside during the day because the Watchers can't come out in sunlight, but they must always return to the coop before nightfall. Breaking these rules could mean death. As Mina adjusts to her new reality, she starts getting to know the group. Sierra tells Mina that she came to the forest with her husband, John, the same man we saw in the beginning of the movie. Sierra still believes he's alive, even though he's been missing for a long time. Meanwhile, Daniel, who seems to have a crush on Sierra, grows jealous of her focus on John. Mina's curiosity leads her to convince Daniel to explore a pit near the cabin where the Watchers are rumored to live. During the day, they use a rope to climb down into the pit. Mina discovers strange objects inside, including a photograph of a man Madeline mentioned, known as the Professor. Suddenly, a Watcher appears. It lets out terrifying noises and stretches a six-fingered hand toward Mina. Daniel quickly pulls her back up with the rope, and they escape just in time. Later, something creepy happens. A man who looks like John comes to the cabin and knocks on the door. The group can see his feet on a security camera, but they can't be sure it's really him. Sierra is convinced it's John and wants to let him in, but Madeline warns her that the Watchers are capable of mimicking humans to trick their prey. Sierra asks the man a personal question that only John would know the answer to, but he stays silent. Moments later, the Watchers attack the man, and he disappears. Sierra is heartbroken. Tensions rise among the group, and after a heated argument, Mina and Madeline are accidentally locked outside as night falls. The Watchers emerge, and their horrifying forms are revealed. They are tall, spider-like creatures with unnatural movements and piercing screeches. The creatures surround the cabin, peering through the windows as Sierra and Daniel try to stay hidden inside. Meanwhile, Mina and Madeline hide in the woods, waiting for the Watchers to leave. They eventually make it back to the cabin, but the terrifying encounter shakes everyone to their core. While exploring the cabin further, the group finds a hidden basement. Inside, they discover belongings of the Professor, whose real name was Rory Kilmartin. Among his possessions are videos documenting his research on the Watchers. In the recordings, Kilmartin explains how he captured one of the creatures and tried to study it, hoping to learn where it came from. However, his attempts to communicate with the creature failed. In his final video, he reveals that he killed the captured Watcher and then took his own life, unable to cope with the horrors he uncovered. Madeline shares her own knowledge about the Watchers. She explains that they are ancient fairies who once lived alongside humans. However, they were eventually banished to the shadows, leaving them bitter and vengeful. Madeline describes seeing a Watcher up close, saying it looked like a distorted version of herself, like an imperfect copy. The group decides to escape the forest by reaching a boat that will take them past the point of no return. The journey is dangerous, and as night falls, the Watchers attack. Daniel is killed during the escape, and one of the creatures takes on his form. Despite the loss, Mina, Madeline, and Sierra manage to reach the boat and sail to safety. Back in civilization, Mina becomes determined to learn more about the Watchers. She visits the university where Kilmartin worked, pretending to be his niece to access his office. There, she finds more of his research, including notes about halflings, Watchers with human traits. She also discovers photographs that reveal a shocking truth. Madeline is not who she claims to be. The real Madeline died years ago, and the Madeline they knew was actually a halfling. Mina confronts Sierra with this revelation but soon realizes something is wrong. That Sierra she's talking to is actually the halfling, now known as the Daywalker. The real Sierra returns home just as the Daywalker attacks Mina. However, Mina manages to reason with the creature. She acknowledges its pain and loneliness and tells it that it deserves a chance to coexist with humans. Moved by her words, the Daywalker spreads its wings and flies away, leaving Mina unharmed. In the final scenes, Mina reunites with her twin sister Lucy and shares her story. She reflects on everything she's been through and how it's changed her. As she spends time with Lucy's children, she notices a strange figure watching her from outside, a human-like girl with a slightly distorted face. It's clear that the Daywalker is still out there, quietly observing.